Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's Levack and Guys here with you, hanging out on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie. Wherever you get your podcasts, that's where we are. If you want to see us, it's got to be YouTube or where else can we be seen? Spotify, right? Spotify does.
That's right. Spotify, the next video feature. I appreciate a lot of people for, before we dive into the big five topics, a bunch of appreciations. One, I know some of you like chapters on YouTube, like you just want to scroll ahead and see what the topic is. Thank you for no one complaining about that yet. I know that's more the YouTube audience. At some point, we might do chapters. Now in the audio audience, you can find all those chapters. So appreciate no complaints there, and appreciate everybody at Mohawk Honda yesterday. It's Mohawk Honda where they always go out of their way to please you. Shout out to the entire staff and service over there. John Higgins texted me this morning. Sorry, guys, I wasn't there. I missed you guys. Hope all is well. We saw the birthday.
He shouldn't have been. You were stalking him.
We saw the birthday man, Greg Johnson. We saw Alex. We saw Lindsey Harry. We saw all the wonderful people, Cam McKenna, Brian McKenna. We all saw the regular people that we see there that are always helping people find vehicles. And they always go out of their way to please you. Nice ride back and forth from Central New York in the wonderful Pilot. New tires, rotated, oils, all good to go. The wife was stacking the Odyssey. So wonderful things in Mohawk on. But I bring up Mohawk on, and not just because we broadcasted live yesterday, but it feels good that you listening right now, some of you asked, where's the show? What time's the show coming out? The fact that people are now setting their schedules to when this stuff is getting released is a huge compliment. So thank you to the people who were giving me grief yesterday that the show got released a little later. And I'm talking like 5:45 compared to 4 to 5:30. Thank you.
You suck. You're fired.
As people might remember from the radio side, we never had those remote shows on the podcast side. They take a little bit longer. Sometimes they didn't get up at all in radio land because of, let's just say, tech stuff that would bore people to death if I explained it. So thank you to everybody asking where the show was. We do our best to get it up timely. So thank you.
I've been hunting this fly for hours.
Look at that thing. What are you holding right now?
Oh, this is a bug assault. You load it with salt, and you can shoot flies right out of the air with it.
Do I have to tag this YouTube video that has weapons?
No, I paid for it. It's just salt. Right. It's just a salt gun. I got him. You in the wrong part of town, son.
My sons had their friends over today.
I think it's a bee, actually.
They had the squirt guns going today. It was great. They were just black. It was a mix, slip and slide, and the squirt guns going today in the Kozlowski backyard.
I'm sorry, I have to finish him. I'll be right back. You go. Good. I can
finish him. Finish him. The thing about the squirt gun, you got to make one rule. If you've got the squirt gun, you got to shoot somebody with another squirt gun in their hand. Some people are just sitting bait. Have the squirt gun in your hand. That's when you're, at least for the under 6 clan. I mean, you get older, you just take the gun for everything else.
That fly didn't have a bug assault gun. I did. Uh-huh. You can also use it to assault people's food from across the room. All right, I'm better now. He had to go. I've been hunting all day.
There were reports that Adam Silver was not happy that LeBron was, quote, dragging it along, deciding where he was going to play, because the longer LeBron took, the longer it took for the NBA to make their schedule. Might have been a lot of truth to that, is now we found out more about the NBA schedule, including the world champion. Doesn't that feel good for you, Levack? The world champion New York Knicks will officially raise the banner in Madison Square Garden on October 20th when the Knicks host LeBron James and his new squad, the Philadelphia 76ers. That game is set for 7 o'clock. Levack, what do you make of this? Your Knicks versus LeBron, game 1 of the season coming up in about 2 months.
70 days. 70 days. I saw that on TV. That's the only reason I can't count. So I didn't know. I just know.
I wish it was 69.
That'll be tomorrow. We can say that tomorrow. Just say, write it down somewhere so you don't forget. It's cool because, like, every once in a while, because it's been so long since the Knicks have been this good or even this relevant, like every once in a while, like I like it's almost like, did that even happen? Like, did I really see the Knicks win a championship? And then all of a sudden I see opening day, LeBron and the 76ers versus the Knicks. I'm like, oh yeah, we did. Christmas Day, the Knicks. Yeah, we did. I think it's going to be really interesting because Jalen Brunson's, mindset, his work ethic, it like permeates this team. So will there be any kind of fallout? You know what I mean? Will there be any drop off from this team? Like, what will LeBron and the 76ers team look like? I think it's a great introduction to the season. And I've seen people like, I don't think it's the best possible matchup. What were you looking for? Like,
Right?
the reigning champs dropping the banner, handing out the rings versus the second best player of all time and a lineup that I've heard people say is the greatest lineup of all time. No, we could do better. Where's Caitlin Clark? Like what? I don't like what do you? Where's the ghost of Wilt Chamberlain? Where's the where's Bill Russell? Is Larry Bird coming down that tunnel? Like I don't like, dude. It's just it's exciting. Like probably the most excited I've been for an upcoming NBA season in a very, very long time.
Maybe. This is a big maybe. Maybe someone could have sold me on a rematch of the finals. That could have been a little bit more compelling if Wemby went to the Garden for game one with that hot crowd and people would have booed him out of the building. You could potentially sell me on the best matchup is Knicks Spurs. This is just as good for a lot of the storylines you just touched on there. And if you got to pick what game you would want to see, first thing about it, just like as simple as that. If you are a sports fan, if you're a basketball fan, if you're an NBA fan, what do you most want to see this upcoming season? Regular season, not postseason, regular season. I would like to see the banner go up in the Garden and hear the crowd and watch the ceremony for a fan base that had been waiting 50 plus years for that. And I want to see LeBron James as the Philadelphia 76er. Is he going to rock the early 2000s? Are we going Syracuse Nationals 1950s throwbacks? Are the Sixers getting a new uni? Whatever it is, those are the things I would like to see more than anything else this season, and I get it in game one. So I am very happy with that. Now, another pushback, and I'm playing devil's advocate here because I really do agree this is the best match we could have had as a Knicks fan and that you wanted. Here's what the Christmas Day schedule does look like in the NBA. You get the Heat and the Celtics, two pretty good teams. You get the Thunder and the Wolves, some of the best teams in the West. You get the Nuggets and the Warriors. Where do those two franchises stand? Teams that have won championships over the last 10 years. And you get the Spurs and the Knicks. So for those of you complaining about when are we getting Spurs Knicks, they decided not on opening day. You get it on Christmas Day. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of building to it a little bit. And to be perfectly honest with you, like as much as it's probably poetic to hand out your rings against the team you won your rings against, I feel like it's better that you don't. Like I feel like it's better because the Spurs were the second best team in basketball last year. Like they don't deserve to have that rubbed in their nose yet. Let's rub it in their nose on Christmas Day. I think this is good and you nailed it. This is why Adam Silver was like, dude, hurry up. Come on. We want to tell everybody what's going on. Come on. Can you tell us who's playing the Knicks at MSG next year, aka where you're signing LeBron, please?
I feel like for the first time, at least since being a father, this is a packed Christmas Day in sports. Now, you and I, this is not a complaint. We signed up for this. I think we've both been pretty fortunate. We haven't worked as many holidays as people think. In the sports world, a lot of people, especially broadcasters, sports talk shows, I'm probably working my first ever Christmas Day this year. Not a complaint, just pointed it out because this is the schedule of sports that it looks like this year. That Knicks Spurs game's at noon. So on Christmas Day, you go Spurs, Knicks, Packers, Bears at 1 o'clock, Heat, Celtics at 2:30, Bills, Broncos at 4:30, Sixers, Lakers at 5, Thunder, Wolves at 8, Rams, Seahawks at 8:15, Nuggets, Warriors at 10:30. At some point in this world, what do I mean by working?
Yeah,
the Bills.
Sports?
No. The Bills play the Broncos in that spot. So I have a feeling I'll do that pregame show on Christmas Day. Whether or not my bosses and corporate overlords will make a change. So again, that's working. Yeah.
I don't know. By the way, thanks for that. By the way, all the people reaching out today going, did you guys break up? Are you not doing the show together anymore? And I'm like, no, we're still doing our show. Well, what's this?
Yeah.
No, he's doing his show. Yeah. What do you want?
Shocking how many people can't read. How many people didn't read the article? They're like, wow, you got a show 5 days. No, it's once a week during Bills games, guys.
One was our former boss, Steve Richards. Are you guys not doing a show? I'm like, what do you need a partner? What are you looking for, bud?
Click the link. Just read the article. Bills game day. They play once a week, people.
Yeah.
Once. My gosh. We're doing the show.
I mean, unless they want to
days
pay
a week.
me too, and then maybe I'll jump in. But right now, no.
Yeah, and you're on Saturday show. It's unbelievable. Just click the article, Pete. I had one person who worked in the building said, "Dude, you better make sure your checks cash." I'm like, "It's once a week." He goes, "Oh, good idea." I'm like, "Good. You're working the building. How do you not know what's?"
Wait, who's checks? So they're not going to pay you?
Oh my god!
I'm back out. I don't want to do it anymore.
So that's, by the way, I'm going to try to do better at the graphics here. That's a lot I just gave you. I gave you 9 games in a row there coming up. So it's a Pat Christmas day. I'm sorry. I know you just brought that up. You people work in media. Just click the article. My gosh.
No, they barely paid attention when we worked with them. Now they're going to drives me nuts. Whatever. Pirate
Richards, you have my number, by the way, too. You could have just texted me.
Yeah. Pirate walks into a bar. He's got a steering wheel and a chain hanging between his legs. The bartender goes, "What's up with the steering wheel and the chain?" The pirate goes, "It's driving me nuts."
I promise when we hit October, like it did 2 years ago to you, might be 3 years ago now, that opening game was Celtics-Knicks. I'm like, that's the greatest offensive performance of any team ever. I will do my best on October 21st to show not to make a hot take about the Knicks Sixers.
I mean, that worked out well. That take worked out well. It did. It worked out perfectly. Just how you planned it. Just how you drew it up. It was great. You shouldn't have listened to me at all that it was only game 1. It completely told you how the entire season was going to go.
Gaz lives in Syracuse now. When did that happen?
Have you seen? There's like a digital short out there. It's like puppets and like this lady. It's supposed to be like a kid show, but it's not. And the one is like a green one, and everyone starts with, "I'm an old person now." Like it's like he's different. I'm a clown now, and then he like acts it out and makes it completely awful. So when you did the Gaz lives in Syracuse now, I kept waiting for you to do something terrible.
Oh no, nothing terrible.
Okay, all right, good.
Just click the article. Just
we
move on to.
Don't click it.
We move on to the Major League Baseball yesterday. As much as if you've listened to the show in complete episodes, Rob Manfred's my boy. Felt a little weird last night involving Manfred. And there's so many different ways to look at what happened involving the Red Sox and the Blue Jays last night. I want to blame Manfred, but I won't. I want to say this is the first time that a lot of people, and this is a take that goes way back to April, that I said, do you know how universally praised and loved this replay system has been, that people have not complained? People complain in the NFL, in college, in basketball. Rarely have we ever heard a complaint about baseball's replay this year. That includes challenging balls and strikes. Well, something weird happened last night involving the Blue Jays and the Rays. To do my best here, explain what happened. So Seigler crosses home plate before his teammate was called out at first, but then the Blue Jays never appealed that the runner left early. And then the run was awarded to the Red Sox 16 minutes later because it was a sac fly and everyone assumed the inning was over. But the umpire waved off the run and said that during all the confusion, he was never given the opportunity to appeal Seigler leaving and not tagging up from third. It was as confusing there, and I'm going to hopefully not bore people here, but let me quickly read the rule for Major League Baseball. Rule 5.09C4. Appeal plays may require an umpire to recognize an apparent fourth out. If the third out is made during a play in which an appeal play is sustained on another runner, the appeal play decision takes precedent in determining the out. If there is more than one appeal during a play that ends a half inning, the defense must elect to take the out that gives its advantage for the purpose of the rule. The defensive team has left the field when the pitcher and all the infielders have left fair territory on their way to the bench of the clubhouse. It's confusing reading it fast as anybody else. What in the world did you make of that nonsense last night involving the Rays and the Sox?
I love whatever it takes for the Red Sox to lose a game. So I'm fine. It's the first time I've ever seen or heard anything like it. Like I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. We may never see it again. It gave me the tuck rule all over again. Like, wait, that's a freaking rule. Like, what are you talking about? What are we doing here? And then I was like, well, yeah, but the Red Sox lost, so it's okay. Like, it's all right. It's fine now. It's okay. As long as the Red Sox lost, I'm all right. I care about two things. I care about the Yankees winning and the Red Sox losing. That's what I like. Let's get back to that, huh? Can we just get back to putting the hate where it belongs? Boston, Massachusetts. Can we? Yeah, that's all that matters. Take that, Boston, Dan. You nerd.
99.99. I'll put the other one in there. % of time, this will never be used again.
Yeah.
There's a good chance this conversation you and I are having right now, I may still be confused about what that was a week from now, if not before the week ends, of how much, if at all, this will have a factor in the AL East and playoff picture and everything else. There have been moments in sports history where a controversial play or a run or an appeal decides the outcome of the end of it. I mean, gosh, you can pick, especially in the postseason, right? Bills fans, how often does that happen? You felt like a rule change or an interpretation, and Saints fans, and pick a team of how this stuff could have impacted the postseason, but a regular season game can have the same way. This is still confusing to me. I'm going to assume they got it right. And the end all be all, it's became a weird highlight on SportsCenter today. And because it was a random Monday in August and the Red Sox are so hot and the Blue Jays almost won the World Series, it is marketable teams and big markets and how that played. But I don't feel like anybody's to blame. I don't think anybody got it wrong. It's not as controversial as people want to be because nobody's really upset about it. It just feels like it was more confusing than upsetting.
You know, what'd be great is if the Red Sox missed the postseason by like a half game, one game. And then we look back at this and go, no!
Oh, now you do want it to happen. All right.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's it's in writing. Like there was some of the over the week of the Arena Crown, there were things that became a mantra. So like the one is me, like, and it started because of you. You kept talking to me about random things that happen in the world of arena football, and I pulled the John Sterling on you. That's arena football, guys. So now there's a group of people who I have to have, by the time we all get together late September, early October, they want that's arena football on the front of a shirt. So I have to get their sizes and have those made now. So that's one. But the other one was Jerry Kurz and Gary Compton. Well, what is this? Since when do we do this? Did you read the ops manual? Did you read it? Because if you read the ops manual, you would know that that's always been a rule. That is a long-standing, just been there rule. Read the ops manual and you'll know. So like whenever the people complained and Jerry and Gary would go, did you read the ops manual? Like for those of you who are like, that's a rule. Did you read the rule book? Like it sucks, you know, hey, it happened to you. And if it happened to me, I'd be ticked off too. But it is a rule. It is in writing. They took a 16-minute delay to let New York City prove they had the call right. That's, you know, if anything, that system needs to be streamlined. It shouldn't take 16 freaking minutes. Some nerd with the rule book should be like, yes, you did it correctly, or no, you did not. That should be the end of it.
Every fan, when their team's not winning, wants to criticize the manager, the coach, all that stuff. I want to keep picking up on Coach Ware there, and I love that comparison. I love it because that's one of the first things I learned about Coach Ware as like a coach. Like everyone kept telling like nobody knows this rule book better than Coach Ware, and I'm like, really? And then I just hear him talk about the game and understanding formations, understanding, gosh, the miracle on South Pearl Street there, like all these like rules of like, how did he know that he knew the game at times better than the officials? So there you go. Like use Coach Ware as an example. Whoever you root for, the college ranks, the pro ranks, that's it. Just tell your coach or your manager, put the team in the best position to win. And please, for the love of God, tell me you know all the rules. We're paying you a lot of money. Right. Just make sure you tell me the rules, that you know the rules. Oh man, was it Mickey Callaway was the manager for the Mets who like didn't know the rule of like how to put in the lineup card and he eventually got canned. Ron Rivera didn't know how the timeouts worked and in the one of the playoff scenarios. That's it. You could sleep in your office allegedly like Ben Johnson. All when you're sleeping at never, you better be studying the rule book of whatever sport you're coaching. That's it.
Every year at AFU, so 2 years of AFU, but every year since I've known Damon Ware at league meetings, it's usually day 2 or 3 of the meetings, the head of officials will speak to the room. When the head of officials is done speaking to the room, Damon Ware walks up with a notebook and goes, I need clarification on this. I need clarification on this. I feel like this would be better worded as this. He goes through it and Cedric Walker does it too, but Damon's like you can't, like you better have a good reason why you're not listening to his suggestion. So yeah, read the ops manual. Red Sox fans, did you read the ops manual? If not, zip the lip. Shut up. How do you like that?
We move on to story number 3. It came across my phone today when I was grabbing lunch. I was a little surprised by it. It involves a quarterback that Levack you've rooted for at the college level and have become a fan of, and then things got a little different at the NFL level. I know.
I thought you were saying, I thought you were going the other way, and I've never been a fan of the guy no.
See, sometimes these setup and teases. Hear that, Richards? These teases. Don't tell the audience quite yet who the players are. Make them TSL. Kyler Murray has been named the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, according to reports coming from Minnesota and the staff. He will now replace former starting quarterback J.J. McCarthy. A lot to this story, a lot of impact in the NFL, including the Giants and the NFC, obviously different divisions. But let's just start with the news up front. Levack, what do you make of Kyler Murray being named the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback over J.J. McCarthy?
I think we saw it coming when they brought him in, right? I mean, Kyler Murray, if nothing else, is very exciting. Kevin O'Connell has the ability to get the absolute most out of his quarterback, and he couldn't do that with J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy had, a good game and a half maybe so far in the pros. He had to develop a fake persona to be able to, really create something special out there. He doesn't have he just, so far, he's not an NFL quarterback. Like, that's all there is to it. He's not ready. He's too young. I believe it was Bill Parcells who used to say, I'm not drafting a guy who didn't have over 1,500 snaps at the college level. And I think JJ McCarthy had like 800, maybe 900. And a lot of those snaps were run plays. So, he's green as all hell. If I'm JJ McCarthy, I do everything I can to stay in Kevin O'Connell's good graces. And then maybe I try to find my way to San Francisco. And then in 2 to 3 years, I hope for the Sam Darnold effect. I hope because again, the kid's physically gifted. I think he might be a little mentally soft. He might be but in this day and age, people talk about mental health a lot where, 10, 15, 20 years ago, if a dude talked about mental health, everybody would be like, that guy's broken. That one's broken. Stay away from that one. He's broken. So maybe he's not, but Kyler Murray is a little more skilled. Just because he can't get things off the middle shelf, not the top shelf, the middle shelf, he's more skilled. And I think Kevin O'Connell will get a lot out of him. But yeah, it's not great for 9.
No, it's not a good look for 9. First with the Murray stuff. Now thinking about it after the news, he should be the starter. Like, even if you're not a Kyler Murray fan, it is hard to make an argument that J.J. McCarthy's better than Kyler Murray at quarterback. Murray's a better athlete. Murray's better in the pocket. Murray's got a better arm. Murray's been more proven in the NFL. Murray's had more success in the NFL. There's not a lot of arguments for J.J. McCarthy besides the fact of, well, he was a first-round pick by the team, and Murray wasn't good last year. That's not good enough. Like, there's way more things in favor of Kyler Murray than J.J. McCarthy. Thinking about what happened with Minnesota. So Minnesota didn't want Kirk Cousins at the end. They thought it's time to move on. Okay, you might have hit your ceiling with Kirk Cousins, and as of now, Kirk Cousins hasn't proved them wrong. He hasn't been better since he left Minnesota. He did get injured, but he hasn't been better. So let's go back to what happened 2 years ago. Minnesota had a decision to make. Minnesota had Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. And man, you and I had a lot of conversations about this about 2 years ago, about what this team was going to do. They went 14-3 with a chance to be 15-2 in the final game of the regular season that year when they played Detroit. Sam Darnold does not play well against Detroit. He does not play well against Los Angeles, and the Vikings season is over. They lose on the road as a wild card team because they don't win the division as a 14-3 team. And Minnesota could have franchise tagged Darnold. They could have re-signed Darnold. They said no. They said, we as a 14-3 team believe J.J. McCarthy is better. And he's not. And he wasn't. And Sam Darnold left and won. I almost swore, but my kid's too close. Won the Super Bowl. All right? This is Levack in all-time blunder in the history of pro football. I'm ready to go in the history of pro sports, but that's way too far because McCarthy's got a lot of football still left to be played. He really does. I don't think he's out of the league. I'm with you on that. I think he bounces around a little bit here coming up. He might get dealt. Gosh, how many times did you say he should have been traded the last 2 years? That the value that he had before he played was actually higher than what it was. They should have dealt him away. Time has now shown that should have been the deal. Did I mention the GM got fired because of this? Did we mention that? Because somehow the reports about the GM, his name escapes me right now. The report was that, well, he took too much time home with his baby. That's what they were trying to say. Like, well, he took too much. He wasn't at the team office as much. No, he started JJ McCarthy. Don't make this harder than it is. He let Sam Darnold leave. It was a horrible decision. I actually think Minnesota is going to be better this year now with Kyler Murray. Like they got 9 wins out of JJ. They got 14 out of Darnold. They might win 11 or 12 games, and Murray might run for some third downs, 3rd and 4s, and move the chain. So I think it's the right decision. I think it's the right move. But let's not forget, like, it's hard to find examples of this in pro sports where you had to pick one and you picked the wrong one so horribly that he went on to win a Super Bowl and the guy you picked got benched the next year.
I could argue this is an all or nothing year for Kyler Murray, though. Because the
biggest, 1-year deal too.
Yeah, the biggest knock on Kyler Murray is they had to put, well, besides his height. All right, so the second biggest knock on Kyler Murray is that he doesn't do homework. That they had to put a clause in his contract that, don't play as much Call of Duty, read the playbook, do your homework. If you can't learn from Kevin O'Connell, you can't learn. We've seen it. You know what I mean? Like everybody, Dobbs, everybody got better with Kevin O'Connell as their head coach. Whether they got better enough to be a legit starter, which hasn't happened for J.J. McCarthy yet, that's fine. But everybody has got better. So if Kyler Murray doesn't take that step forward as not so much as a quarterback, but as a student, like a student of the game, if he doesn't show that he can now pick up these passing concepts and these different versions of the offense that O'Connell was able to teach to Sam Darnold and to this one and to that one and the other one, then he's done. Then it's over him. He better start stretching and see if he can pick up as a center fielder or a shortstop somewhere in Major League Baseball.
Is this too broad of a take by me? Is it too broad that I know Kornheiser and Wilbon wanted him to do that. I don't want that to get lost. They actually did want him to try out the baseball thing for a second, just to flex on teams and, hey, I know you don't like when I call him the modern day Bo Jackson because it's not true. He didn't play baseball. So he can't be the modern day Bo Jackson. He didn't play.
Bo Jackson's mini-me.
He is. And I wish he was better in the media because he could have been more marketable and all that stuff. Do you think teams now will see what Minnesota did a few years ago with J.J. McCarthy and took him in the middle of the first round because of contracts, being a playoff contender? Because there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks allegedly that could go again in the first round that teams now, because McCarthy wasn't good, are going to back off.
Nope.
Be like, hey, if okay, I'd rather take the veteran who's proven than the rookie when we're closer to winning. Not a rebuild, like closer to winning.
There is so much pressure to find that quarterback, that franchise quarterback. And if you can find him and not have to pay him for at least the first 3 to 4 years, pay him, quarterback money for the first 3 to 4 years, that's how you build your team. So based on the current financial structure and the pressure to find the right guy, no, this is going to keep happening. There's going to be a lot more JJ McCarthy's than Tyler Shucks out there. That's for damn sure, in my opinion.
There was a moment last year where some thought Derek Carr could be coming back. Remember, Derek Carr surprises people with his retirement decision from the New Orleans Saints. Carr could have stayed with the Saints. Speaking about Tyler Shuck, Carr could have just rehabbed with the Saints and got paid a lot of money. He said, nope, not fair to the organization, not fair to the team. If I'm not going to come back and not play, I'm not going to steal your money. A lot of people the money. Good on Derek Carr. Well, now reports coming out that Derek Carr is officially retired, is going to join the UCLA coaching staff. That's Bob Chesney, who's the new head coach for the Bruins out there, that he's going to take over UCLA's quarterback tutelage. Levack, I know you're one of the people as a former Raider fan that was hoping that Carr would get another chance in the NFL. What do you make of him making the move to coaching? And do you think he's officially done playing football?
No, he said he had 6 offers. He had 6 teams talk to him and try to figure it out, and none of them were the one that he wanted. I really think this is more of a crossroads situation than a definitive, like he picked a path situation. Because what better way to stay in football shape than to be on the field with these guys? Because he's not going to be the kind of coach that just stands there with a clipboard. He's going to be the kind of coach who's like, dropping back, throwing the routes, showing them how they work. You see Harbaugh. When Harbaugh's out on the field, Harbaugh's playing catch with everybody and all other stuff. Like, He's going to be that kind of guy. So he's going to be in football shape. This gives him a path into coaching if that's what he, as he says, he truly wants to be. But it also, keeps the door open and keeps him from having to go to training camp. These guys don't want to go to training camp. Training camp sucks. What's the old saying? You get paid for practice, that you play the game for free. Nothing's more practice than training camp. Derek Carr wasn't going to training camp. So I think he's going to follow this coaching path. And if they're successful in UCLA, you might see him fast-tracked to a quarterback coach, to an OC, to maybe even a head coach faster than you think. But it wouldn't shock me if – I'm trying to think who's his people out there. If just somebody he's tight with, some coach, some whatever that he's already friendly with, they lose their quarterback on a really good team, and all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I wouldn't look bad in a Rams uniform. You know what I mean? Something to that nature. I could definitely see it.
From now on, I'm changing my take on quarterbacks because something happened that I've never seen happen in my life as a sports fan that makes me rethink everything involving the quarterback position. And that's Phillip Rivers last year. The fact that Phillip Rivers played for the Colts last year, and not just played for the Colts, played in impactful games to get the team to the postseason after so many years away from the game, but so close to being in the Hall of Fame, that he said, I would rather suit up and run this offense and try to win the team games. I'll always think a quarterback can come back now. Because Riley Leonard's not a bum, although I wonder how much that'll affect the rest of his career. Some will say he was injured. No, we'd rather have Phillip Rivers than anybody else. Anthony Richardson had the weird orbital bone, the band injury, and Jones is hurt. They claim they had nobody else. Okay, so Derek Carr, Andrew Luck, RG3, all these quarterbacks who may be out of the league for longer than we thought. I now completely think of it differently because of Phillip Rivers, because I got an example of, Rivers did it. Why wouldn't some of these other guys do it?
Well, it's cerebral pocket quarterbacks. If you're asking to throw the ball 15 to 20 times a game, and you had a good O-line who could protect him and a good running game like the Colts did, why not? But, it's still, it's a little bit of crazy. There's a little crazy in it too. A little crazy.
For sure. And when I think about the most accurate quarterbacks who could stand in the back of the pocket and just zip one in there and put it right here on somebody, Aaron Rodgers is the first one who pops in my mind. But Rodgers is still playing. Tom Brady was next. Tom Brady played a really long time. Those are the names that would. Phillip Rivers. Somebody else is on the way. I would say Mahomes, but Mahomes' style is not like those guys. Mahomes is a little bit more of superpower arm and really, really good throwing on the run.
Actually bring up a good point in my brain. Because Derek Carr has the arm, but Derek Carr thought he was a better runner than he was. The amount of times since he broke his leg that Derek Carr would scram out of the pocket and get stripped from behind or get hurt in a hit. It was always you're not that guy. You're not that guy anymore. Maybe you were before you broke your leg. Maybe you were. Even then you weren't fleet of foot, but you're not that guy. So you know what? Maybe stay coaching, Derek. Did you see what else his former team, the Saints, did? I think the news came out right when we started this. They're gonna put Drew Brees in the Ring of Honor in October against the Vikings. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's in you should have put him in your Ring of Honor before he got put in the Sports Hall of Fame. Is that the thing now? You got to be a Hall of Famer to get into the Saints Ring of Honor?
I would. You know what? You say that, criticize him. I believe that's a rule for a lot of organizations. As silly as that is, right? They should. If you were good for the team, then you should be in the team's Ring of Honor before the pro football or baseball or whatever Hall of Fame, because you've achieved, just by sheer math, how many players have played on this team in comparison to 30 times as many, or 32, add in whatever leagues you want, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That should be easier to accomplish than this. But some people, I reference North Carolina basketball all the time. North Carolina basketball has rules of you have to win a Player of the Year to have your number retired. Some of these places say, we'll put you in our Ring of Honor if you've done something. achieved college football Hall of Fame, pro football Hall of Fame, been away for X amount of years. And by the way, the Vikings is an interesting game, right? Isn't that the team they beat to get to the first Super Bowl and then NFC title game, the Brett Favre? Go watch some Favre interceptions, by the way. That's the new thing on Instagram. People are like, people love Brett Favre. Watch some of these throws and imagine Brett Favre playing during Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and what social media would have done to Favre on some of these throws. But I get your point. The minute Drew Brees retired as a Saint, they should have had it the following season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, or at least when the handwriting was on the wall that he was going to get in the Hall this year, they should have done it last year. You know what I mean? Like as a preamble almost. But because part of it for me is too, I want this to be the greatest thing that's happened to you. And I know Drew Brees loves New Orleans, and I know he loves what the Saints were for him and all this other stuff. But let's be honest, that last week? Yeah, last weekend or the weekend before. I can't remember when the Hall of Fame. But yeah, last weekend, right? Was his greatest. That's the honor. That's it. You can tell that I was in another state for 4 or 5 days. Like you can I have no concept of time.
The fact that AI now can make those Hall of Fame busts, if you want to just like play around and be like, make a Hall of Fame bust of me. Some people criticize it every year. That's why isn't it absolutely perfect? They're all mostly pretty good. They're all like really, really, really good. Just people want to criticize everything. And back to the Superdome. You and I were not together in the Superdome, right? That was the year where you had some obligations for AF1 and you came a little later in the week to New Orleans.
Yeah. Okay. I came Wednesday or whatever that week.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't remember if it was Vegas or New Orleans, the one you came late. Good gosh, man, that is a sight to behold. The Superdome, that is just an unbelievable building. Last one here, a little pop culture stuff. Dobby's grave is what this banner says. The information, Levack, this is in your wheelhouse. Take us through Dobby's grave and what's going on involved in this.
So, you Potterheads are out of control. And they're bad enough in this country, but apparently in the UK, you're even worse. They were building, guys, a $580 million undersea power cable, which was going to save all kinds of money and get more clean energy to places and all these things. They were forced to reroute it. They can't build it where they were building it because a fan of Harry Potter, a fan of the series, realized that it would go through Dobby's grave. Dobby is a house elf. Dobby is CGI. Dobby is not real. And Dobby didn't die in this world. And also, better than that, Dobby's grave that they're routing around this $580 million project that probably just got more expensive. A fan decided to make this location Dobby's grave. It's not even like, oh, this is where it happened in the movie. This is some dude went, that's the spot where Dobby was buried, and that's it. So a $580 million power project gets rerouted, probably destroys like the Carner blue butterfly or some kind of like sea turtle that we've never seen. But Dobby's fake grave is fine, you freaking nerds. What is wrong with you? And by the way, Harry Potter is just a Star Wars ripoff. How you like me now?
How many of the Harry Potter movies have you seen?
From start to finish?
No, just some of it. Parts of
I've
them.
seen some of all of them, but I've never watched any of them from opening credit to closing credit.
All right.
And my family are like nerd. Like every year, my daughter and I, and we're nerds. Like we are. Like we haven't seen Spider-Man together. We haven't seen Spider-Man yet because we have to go together. Like that's the only reason we haven't seen it yet. We go to all the Marvel movies together. We've seen everything. Like we watch a bunch of the same crappy, weird series. Every year, my daughter goes, should we watch the Harry Potter movies before Christmas like everybody else does? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then every year, it's New Year's Eve, and we look back and go, did we never got around to watching any of those. We don't, huh? I don't even. And then it's like, man, next year we'll do it. We have never.
We'll get next year.
And now that I know how crazy they are, I thought they were bad enough already. My kid watched the Twilight series, and we haven't watched Harry Potter. Okay, that's where we are.
The Harry Potter movie series and the Lord of the Rings movie series, aren't those the top two highest grossing movie series franchises of all time? I believe still, even more than Rocky, even more than the Avengers. I'm pretty sure those are still the top two. It is. I'm also like you, by the way. I've pieced together Harry Potter movies with like Freeform or whatever other channel randomly throws those together. So I can't really break down the series of Harry Potter, although that did come out right in the prime of when I was in school and everything else. Here's what this Dobby's grave story tells me. I am so afraid and nervous of how dumb people are. And some older people who have figured out how to work YouTube and podcasts, I love you. I appreciate you being here. But some people over the age of 50, I actually am concerned about because I actually believe it's that generation, 50 plus, because there are people who will watch regular television right now and think it's on live. There are people who will watch The Price is Right and game shows and think that game is happening right now because they're watching it for the first time and have no idea. There are people who watch The Tonight Show and all these shows that thought it was happening live at 12. The concept of taping everything.
Some people think this show is live.
We'll try next time. We locked in at least one September live show today, which is very exciting. Yeah. Two more hopefully to lock in and one more in August. So we will go live next time. I believe that's the 18th of September. We'll have more info on that because that's a bright.
I think I'm going to a Yankee game on the 8th, so that's I had to make sure. I got a little nervous.
What I mean by that is like Breaking Bad. The character who Anna Gunn played was Walter White's wife. People would boo her. That's not her. People. That's an actor playing a character. Pro wrestling, the same people. So like it's the older generation of people who can't understand that like you're living in your own world. You think the world revolves around you and it's happening when it's happening for you. And that's an older generation thing. The new generation is on demand, but I know it's already been created. I'll get it when I want. Like real quick, we were at Herbie's yesterday, right? Like how many people are doing DoorDash? Like I don't have to just show like they're going to bring the food and just like, it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
Man.
I think you got this back assword. Cause as much as my generation, we can be technically stunted when it comes to technology and stuff. We also were told, suck it up, buttercup. Like, my dad used to say to me, why don't you poop in one hand and want in the other and tell me which one fills up first when I'd say I wanted something, or how's it feel to want, or I'll give you something to cry about. These are, it's your generation and younger who are just like, everything I want is the most important thing ever. And you should do what my feelings say. Yeah. So, because I can guarantee you that my generation, hey, we're going through Dobby's grave. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to exhume a fake body and put it somewhere else because power's going to go. Like come on. But, dude, our old studios, not the last company we worked for together, the company we worked for together before it, was in the middle of the Pine Bush Preserve. Like you are not supposed to go there because the endangered Carner blue butterfly that's its mating grounds. We were there. They cut trees down to put up satellite dishes for us to have a thing there because it made the most sense for the economy. Okay. I will tell you this. I have never, since I was a very small child, seen a Carner blue butterfly, but there's still some big ass satellite dishes in the middle of the preserve because that's what's up. But Dobby's fake freaking grave, let's move an entire power project. It's not my generation, guys. How dare you?
It's you Gen Xers. What am I now? A Gen Zer? What am I? Millennial? You're an Alpha. I'm forgetting the terms now.
I'm Gen X, I believe.
I think I'm millennial Gen X. Then.
Yeah, whatever the one that sucks is. That's you.
That's my generation. Tomorrow is the season finale of Flocky. We will talk more about that on tomorrow's show, so we'll have more on that. Probably a little earlier.
I hate the last one. I always hate the last one.
Oh, don't you know what? Save that for tomorrow. Don't give me that tape yet. All right, save that tape for tomorrow because
I'm gonna love it because I'm gonna get me some Herbie's burgers. Don't get me wrong, but
I realize that now that's probably gonna be an earlier release tomorrow because I know you're going to a new spot. You mentioned Herbie's Burgers. Yeah. I allegedly going to Syracuse football camp tomorrow, doing some coverage. So look out for maybe a same time release tomorrow. Anything else we've missed on today's Tuesday show?
I hit another home run bet last night.
The day after?
No, luckily Wilson Contreras wasn't playing last night. The Red Sox had the night off. I'm going to play him tonight. The big guy for the Rays. Jeez, I can't even think of his freaking name off the top of my head.
Habanero?
Yeah, I hit him last night. They had the Grand Slam pool going on DraftKings. So I was like, all right, I'll throw a $5. Actually, I think I put $10 on him. I put $10 on him to hit a home run, and it hit. So, but he didn't hit a grand slam. And there was a grand slam last night. I wish I think it was Beatty got it. But it chance to win all that money. So I ended up that, and then the Tatis home run was part of a home run special they were doing, where you get a $10 free play for every home run hit in the game. So I have a $50 home run. It's no skin off my nose. $50 home run dinger tonight, and I put it on. I did it this morning when I woke up. I'm going with Ben Rice. I'm going with Ben Rice on that one, and then I have a fatty parlay that I'm doing tonight, but I don't even want to tell people. I'm afraid I'll jinx it. It's a straight up home run. It's a 5-homer parlay.
Don't worry, for you people who love this show for our wagering tips, advice, fades, however you want to explain it. I hope. What do you think? Next week? I hope. This thing's building. This thing's growing. We're making money moves. Emails have been sent. Things are in motion. We'll have more of that talking. Speaking about that, 2 weeks from now, you are going to be in Florida celebrating your big 5-0. So that final week in August will be some fill-ins, co-hosts, some season preview things. We're holding the NFL season preview till you get back. But I texted you last night 2 college football wagers I'm really thinking about. I'll say because I don't think I'm going to do them. One is NC State. One is the Wolfpack. And the only reason I said the Wolfpack is I listened to Jeff Schwartz involving the Wolfpack, and he had a really good take. Unfortunately, Jeff gets dragged sometimes about how bad his picks are. And then I rechecked their schedule. They play Syracuse. So the NC State Wolfpack do have a soft schedule. They could be like Virginia and get in. I don't know if I have the stones to do that yet. Too many people are telling me to take Hawaii now as the group of 5 team this year. Timmy Chang. I love Vegas. I think UNLV is finally going to do it. It makes too much sense. 3 years in the Mountain West title game. Every year they lose to Boise. Boise's not there anymore. Mullen has his players. But I'm getting talked to a 55-1 ticket to bet on the Bows, baby. I think they're going to beat UNLV on the island in September. But so talk me out of those wagers before you go to Florida in 2 weeks.
Listen, no matter how silly a movie is, every once in a while you can pull a very sage piece of wisdom from it. Men in Black. Tommy Lee Jones says, "A person is smart, people are dumb." Okay, just remember. So if a smart person tells you to do something, do it. If a group of people tell you to do it, you probably shouldn't do it.
That's a very good lesson for today's episode. That sums up people not clicking on articles, believing actors and actresses and Dobby is real, not knowing that there are people in New York checking replays. Yeah, that sums up today's show.
All right, so tomorrow, let's do 2 things tomorrow. We'll preview the season finale of Flock U, and then basically what you're talking about college football just made me wonder, who's the worst to first team in the NFL? Who's the team that was worst last year that's going to be first next year? Like the Giants, the Raiders, the Cards, the Titans. Who is the worst in their division that's going to win the division next year? That's your homework, guys. You better have it.
I love it.
All right, good. All right, those things are coming up tomorrow. Thank you to everybody. Thanks to Mohawk Honda, our good friends. Thanks to Herbie's Burgers for feeding us. And we locked in some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff on the way. So stay with us. Thanks to everybody who's hung out and been a part of it. Thanks to our old boss, Steve Richards, for not knowing this existed. We really appreciate
and
that.
not texting me about whatever. Shut up, Richard.
Well, that's all right. People texted you good things. They text me bad things. Like people are texting you like, "Hey, you and Levack have handled things great. We love you." And then they text me like, "You guys break up? You know anything cool? You stupid? What are you doing? You broke yet? You want to do what you want? You want to earn some money in a stall number 3 yet?" That's what I get. Those are the texts I get. So I'll trade with you if you want. That's what's up. But I don't want to be, but somebody did that to you at Mohawk, and it was a little longer than I thought. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you doing? What do you mean you're standing right there? We're doing the show. Why do you keep right now? We're doing the show right. What was I thought about that. I thought about that later. That is somebody that I've had a conversation with in the past, and I think that was you want to come sell cars? Are you done? Yeah, you ready? You want to come? Is it time? You ready? I'll be perfectly honest with you. I would 100% sell cars right now because I do love cars, but there's only one brand that I would sell, and it's the brand I know the best. I grew up on it. I'm a bow tie guy. So if Andy Gelcher says to me, you know what, let's go. This is your new job. Here's your desk. Here's some fat guy 3XLT polos at Mohawk Chevy. Then I could be your car hookup guy. But that's the only place I would do it. That's really, or maybe the Cadillac dealership down in Jersey. Who knows? But definitely, I'm a GM guy. So, but I think I thought about that later because it was really awkward.
It was like, right? I think.
Yeah, you broke yet? Kind of deal.
He's a nice guy too. I don't know if he just like was trying to stall from somebody and like I can't. Hey,
no, I think he was. I think he was genuinely. They were probably having conversations about like, what do you think he's doing? What do you think? Is he? I know he doesn't make enough money in the AF1, so it's probably something like that. Well,
just everybody, we appreciate your support. Some of you give it to us differently. Everyone's different with support.
Jeff Levack on Venmo. I'll take your support right there. All right, hey guys, do me a huge favor and hit that freaking button.